The message arrived at Earth's Unified Space Command headquarters on a Tuesday. Ambassador Tal of the Galactic Concord appeared on screens worldwide, his translucent skin revealing the anxious pulsing of his circulatory system, a clear sign of distress among the Lumari species. "People of Earth," he began, voice quivering. "The Concord faces extinction. The Vorn Dominion has conquered 3 systems in as many weeks. Their bioweapons dissolve our bodies. Their ships outnumber ours 10 to 1. We need help. Admiral." Jackson leaned forward in her chair, eyes narrowed. For centuries, the galactic community had kept humanity at arm's length. Earth was classified as a death world, a planet whose extreme gravity, varied climates, and evolutionary pressures had forged a species considered brutish and dangerous by galactic standards. The Concord voted against our full membership last year, Jackson reminded the room of officials. "Now they want our military might?" President Reed nodded slowly. "They kept us isolated because they feared us. Now they need us because they fear something else more." Within hours, the decision was made. Humanity would respond. In the Concord's central chamber on Lumaris Prime, Ambassador Tal awaited Earth's response. When the transmission came through, he couldn't hide his shock. A single human, Captain Wilson, appeared on screen. "The United Earth fleet will arrive at the Kelvin 7 border in 3 days, Wilson stated. "We request deployment coordinates and enemy positions." 3 days? Tal sputtered. "That's impossible. The journey takes at least 2 weeks at maximum safe speed." Wilson's expression didn't change. "We'll be there in 3 days. When the transmission ended, murmurs filled the Concord chamber. What could they possibly send? "That would make any difference?" asked a Trilaxian representative, chitinous appendages clicking nervously. "Their technology is generations behind ours." Ambassador Tal had no answer. The Concord had always assumed humans were technologically inferior, a consequence of their isolation. But something in Wilson's confidence unsettled him deeply. The Vorn Dominion Supreme Commander Grek received word of the human intervention with amusement. His massive frame, covered in armored plates evolved from eons of warfare, shifted as he laughed. "Deathworlders," he rumbled to his officers. "Let them come. They will learn what real predators look like." His fleet of 10,000 ships continued their relentless advance toward Kelvin 7, a strategic gateway to the heart of conquered space. Victory was a mathematical certainty. 3 days later, as promised, humanity arrived. The first sign was a spatial distortion that Concord scientists couldn't explain. Then, emerging like ghosts from rippling space, came 7 massive vessels, each larger than any capital ship in the Concord fleet. 7 ships? General Vex of the Concord military scoffed. "We requested aid against 10,000 enemy vessels, and the humans send 7? Ambassador Tal, watching the monitors alongside the general, felt a chill when he recognized the insignia on the lead vessel. UESF Retribution. Captain Wilson stood on the bridge of the Retribution, surveying the tactical display. The Vorn fleet was exactly where intelligence had indicated, arranged in a standard invasion formation. "Predictable. All ships report ready, Captain," First Officer Martinez announced. "Weapon systems charged. Ruin protocols standing by." Wilson nodded. "Open a channel to all Concord and Vorn ships." After a brief pause, Communications Officer Bell confirmed, "Channel open, sir." Wilson took a moment before speaking. When he did, his voice betrayed no emotion. "This is Captain Wilson of the United Earth Space Force. To the Vorn Dominion. You have 1 hour to withdraw from Concord space. No extension will be granted. No terms will be negotiated. This is your only warning." The response from Supreme Commander Grek came swiftly. "Your arrogance will be remembered in our victory songs, human. 1 hour from now, your 7 ships will be debris, and your planet will be next." Wilson turned to his weapons officer. "Begin countdown. Prepare Ruin Protocol Alpha." Aboard the Concord command vessel, Ambassador Tal watched in mounting horror as the humans made no further attempt to communicate. Their ship simply waited, maintaining position. "They're insane," General Vex muttered. 7 ships against 10,000. What could they possibly be planning? Tal thought back to the sparse historical records about Earth, a planet where life competed so fiercely that its dominant species had evolved not just to survive but to dominate, a species that had nearly destroyed itself multiple times with its own weapons. "They're not insane," he whispered. "They're Deathworlders. They know something about destruction that we don't." When the hour expired, the Vorn fleet surged forward as one, a wall of weaponry bearing down on the 7 human vessels. Captain Wilson gave a single command: "Execute Ruin Protocol Alpha." What happened next would forever change galactic history. From each human ship emerged thousands of smaller craft, not conventional fighters but automated drones moving with impossible precision. Simultaneously, the space between the fleets rippled as hidden mines activated, creating a web of destructive energy that shredded the front lines of the Vorn fleet. Aboard the Vorn command ship, Supreme Commander Grek watched in disbelief as 3,000 of his vessels disappeared in the opening salvo. "Impossible," he hissed. "Their technology should be primitive." His tactical officer, voice shaking, responded, "Supreme Commander, we're detecting exotic particle readings and weapons systems unlike anything in our databases. All ships, concentrate fire on their capital vessels," Grek ordered. But the human ships had already begun their next move. The Retribution and its sisters split apart, not destroyed but transforming, each vessel separating into 3 distinct sections that continued functioning as independent warships. 21 human warships now advanced, releasing clouds of nanites that consumed Vorn hulls like cosmic predators. Where Vorn bioweapons struck human vessels, specialized countermeasures neutralized them instantly. Within 30 minutes, half the Vorn fleet was gone. Within an hour, Supreme Commander Grek's mighty armada was reduced to a scattered, retreating remnant. 1 week later, Ambassador Tal stood before the reunited Galactic Concord. Many seats remained empty, representatives of worlds now under temporary human protection after the Vorn offensive. "The humans did not merely defend us," Tal explained, his voice solemn. "They have secured the entire disputed sector. The Vorn Dominion has sued for peace." "And what do the humans want in return?" asked a nervous representative. Tal took a deep breath. "Full membership in the Concord, equal standing, and acknowledgement that the term Deathworlder shall henceforth be recognized not as a slur, but as a mark of respect." As debate erupted around him, Tal's thoughts returned to Captain Wilson's parting words. "We came when called. Remember that. Humanity builds fleets of ruin not because we wish to use them, but because we've learned the hard way that peace is maintained through strength. Next time, don't wait until you're losing a war to remember we exist." The Concord had asked for aid. The Deathworlders had answered, and the galaxy would never be the same.